Karuna Prachur
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Taralaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarabhaktaya Namo Namaha. I'm first of all offering millions and millions of Dandavat pranams unto the lotus feet of my most beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Astotara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosvami Maharaj. And I'm offering the same again millions and millions of times unto the lotus feet of our most beloved Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Astotara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and all our Rupa Nuga Guru Vargya, and all the Vaishnava and Vaishnavi devotees of the Lord, my Dandavat pranams. So today is practically our last day. Tomorrow is the full moon, Purnima. So we've performed our Niyama Seva of traveling around all the wonderful pastime places of Sri Vrindavan Dham. And simultaneously, we've heard about the great saints, the great personalities, those great Mahatmas who are in our line and have chosen to either appear during this month of Kartik or disappear. So we had Srila Gokashodas Babaji, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, right at the very beginning, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. In the middle, we had Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and so many esteemed personalities. And today we have the fortune to glorify this most esteemed personality who left in 1999, Shripad Bhakti Pramoda Puri Gosvami Maharaj, disappeared from this planet in the very last day, practically, of Kartik in 1999. So today we'll celebrate his disappearance day with great happiness and joy. Even though it's his disappearance day, still we feel happiness to glorify the Vaishnavas who are so close to Sri Krishna's heart. To make any progress in our spiritual life, one must take complete shelter of the Vaishnavas, of Krishna's devotees, Krishna's dear devotees. Aham bhakta paradino yashvatantra idva dvija sadhubhya grasta hridayo bhakti jana priya. Krishna is speaking directly to Durvasa Rishi. He says, I am completely under the control of my devotees. Indeed, I am not at all independent, because my devotees are completely devoid of material desires. I sit only within the cause of their hearts. What to speak of my devotees? Even those who are devotees of my devotees are very dear to me. So this is the Lord's opinion directly. So today we have this fortune to glorify practically the embodiment of humility in the form of Shripad Bhakti Pramoda Puri Gosvami Maharaj. I was very fortunate to have his darshan on a few occasions, and each time I was so impressed by practically the tangible form of humility. The embodiment of humility is what I could sense to some degree with my dull brain. But I could appreciate something of the speciality of this personality, of his extreme humility and his extreme dedication to seva. His entire life he took up the service of publishing his Gurudev's words. He was at a very early age asked to edit his Patrika magazine, and his entire life, right up to in a very advanced age, he was 101 years old. Even in that advanced age, he was still dictating. When his hands couldn't write, when they trembled too much, he was still dictating articles for his beloved Gurudev. He took that instruction as his very life and soul and dedicated his entire life to propagating the words of his most beloved Gurudev. So today I would like to read the offering that my beloved Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj, made in 2001. We were actually all sitting in the Rup Sanatan Mandir when we got this devastating news that finally Sripad Bhakti Pramoda Puri Gosvami Maharaj had chosen to leave this world. And as we've commented previously, the Acharya, the Vaishnavas, the great Vaishnavas, they can leave this world at will whenever they so desire. So today is also the disappearance day of Sripad Bhurgava Goswami, who was a great associate of Sri Lokanath Goswami, one of the first personalities to come to Vrindavan on the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And also it's the disappearance day of Kashishvara Goswami, who was a resident principally of Orissa, and he performed great service for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this personality, Srila Pramoda Puri Gosvami Maharaj, decided to leave this world on this particular day. So now I'm just going to read from words from my beloved Gurudev. My Gurudev is saying, in November of 1946, I left my home and came to Sri Devananda Gaudiya Math in Sridham Navadvip. After a short time, in 1947, at the end of Sri Navadvip Dham Parikrama, which was held on the occasion of the divine appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I took shelter at the lotus feet of my most beloved Om Vishnupad Astotarasdara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. He made my life successful by initiating me with Harinam and Diksha mantras. After celebrating the holy festival of Gaur Purnima and Sridham Parikram, I accompanied Gurudev to one of the branches of Sri Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, namely Sri Udarana Gaudiya Math in Chinchura. It was there, at Sri Udarana Gaudiya Math, that I had the audience of Param Pujapad Astotarasara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Pramoda Puri Gosvami Maharaj, his lotus feet for the first time. He had already accepted the renounced order on March 3rd of 1947 at Sri Gaura Gadadhar Math in Champahati, from Nityalila Pravishta on Astotarasara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Gaurav Vikanis Maharaj, one of the prominent sannyasi disciples of Jagat Guru Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. I was very impressed by my meeting with him, and my most beloved Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, engaged me in his service. Every day I used to go with him to take bath in the Ganga nearby, carrying his outer garment, kopin, kamandalu, pot. After bathing, I carried his wet clothes and kamandalu, now filled with water, back to our mutt, and then I fed him prasadam. Moreover, I obeyed the many instructions he used to kindly give me on various occasions. I submissively put so many questions before him, and he used to reply to all my inquiries with great affection. During our discussions in those days, he used to tell me some things about his life history. His name was previously Pramod Bhushan. His parents were religious and from the Brahman Chakravarti caste. He took birth on October the 8th, 1898, in the village of Gangananda Pura, in the district of Jaisur. in the present-day Bangladesh. From his very childhood, he was fond of Hari Kirtan, chanting the Lord's holy names. He felt so much pleasure in hearing Hari Kirtan that sometimes he would become forgetful of his bodily condition. During his student life, he met a Gaudiya Vaishnava named Bhakti Ratnakara Thakur. Sri Bhakti Ratnakara Thakur was the first person to introduce him to the books of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. After receiving the books, he studied them thoroughly, and then he began to read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in the association of that Vaishnava. After completing his Bachelor of Science degree at Calcutta University, he wanted to continue his education, but the burden of maintaining his family fell on his shoulders. He unwillingly left his studies and accepted employment at the Post Commission in Calcutta. It was during that period that he met Jagat Guru Nityalila Pravishta Om Astautar Shishimad Shripad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, and was deeply influenced by hearing his powerful Harikatha. In 1923, on the auspicious occasion of Sri Krishna Janmastami, he received Diksha from Srila Prabhupada at Uttanga Gaudiya Math and was given the name Sri Pranavananda Brahmachari. Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur was immensely satisfied with his steadiness, full surrender, loving service endowed with bhav, and especially his art of writing. Therefore he gave him the responsibility of managing Sankirtan, preaching, Harikatha, publishing the Dainika Nadia Prakash, and writing articles for Sri Gaudiya Math's journals. For the service of the Brihat Mridanga, the book publication, Srila Puri Maharaj stayed in various places like Calcutta, Krishnanagar, and Mayapur. For the sake of preaching Gauravarni, the message of Gaurasundar, he travelled not only throughout Bengal, but also in many places throughout India, and he met with great success. He sometimes travelled with his Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, and sometimes with the senior intimate sannyasi disciples of Srila Prabhupada. In this way, he served his Gurudev by internal manobhishta seva, fulfilling his innermost cherished desires. After the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Pramoda Puri Gosvami Maharaja stayed for a few months with my beloved Guru Padma, Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Dvaita Madhav Maharaj Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, and other god brothers. I had a wonderful opportunity to serve him and hear his Harikatha during that period. He had so much affection for me that he used to consider me his disciple, and I used to respect him as I respected my Gurudev. On numerous occasions, he blessed me with abundant kindness. Once, when we were at Chinchura Math, we went together for bathing in the Ganga. I was carrying his cloth and water pot, and also my own lota, that I had still from my previous home life. I put them down on the gut, and we both entered the water of Bhagavati Bhagirati for bathing. After bathing, I found that my lota was gone. It had been carried away by the waves of the Ganga, which was very near the ocean at that place. Pujya Charan Puri Maharaj smiled and said, "You left your home, family, wife, son, and wealth to become a renounced Vaishnava, so what need is there to be attached to a lota?" I was also smiling. Taking his wet cloths and water pot, we returned to the mutt. As long as he was present, every time we met, he used to remind me of this pastime, and I also cannot forget the mercy he showed to me throughout my life. After a long time, Srila Puri Gosvami Maharaj was given the responsibility of serving the deity of Sri Anantavasudev of Kalna. The king of Bardhaman was unable to serve his deity. when he observed the pure disposition and devotion of Srila Pramoda Puri Gosvami Maharaj, he was immensely impressed and offered the service of Ananta Vasudeva to him. Later, Srila Puri Gosvami Maharaj took charge of the temple along with his disciples. I also went to have his audience there many times in Kalna. I always saw him busy in writing. His pen never stopped. He used to spend every moment in writing articles about pure bhakti. Whenever a chance came after completing his fixed number of rounds of Harinam, serving the deity and studying the Shastras, he also used to submit many articles to the journals of different Gaudiya Mats. Especially, he was the editor-in-chief of Sri Chaitanya Vani, the journal of Srila Bhakti Dvaita Madhav Goswami Maharaj's Mat. In the last years of his life, he stayed in Sridham Mayapur, where he established Sri Gopinath Gaudiya Mat at Isodhyan. In the last stage of his life, he stayed at Bhaktim Mukhana Chakratirtha in Sri Purushottam Dham. Finally, he entered into Nitya Lila on the 22nd of November 1999 at 2 a.m. Whenever I used to go to Sridham Vrindavan, Sridham Mayapur or Calcutta, I had the good fortune to have the audience of his lotus feet. At that time, I used to present him whatever new publications we had produced from our mat in the Hindi language, such as Jaiva Dhamma, Chaitanya Shikshamrita, the teachings of Sriman Mahaprabhu, and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Bindu, Kiran, and Kana Upadeshamrita, Manu Shiksha, Ragvartman Chandrika, and also some English publications. He was delighted to receive all these books from me, and in return he inspired and instructed me to publish more books of the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. Whenever we would meet, he would ask, "What new publications are coming in Hindi?" He was present to pacify us at the time our beloved Gurudev entered into Nitya Lila, and also when the Samadhi Mandir was established at Devananda Gaudiya Mat. During his visit, he told us with a melting heart, Vinod Da, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, was very affectionate to us. Whenever we knew that Vinod Da was not in Mayapur, we would also cancel our scheduled program to visit Mayapur. He said that there was no one as warmly affectionate as Vinod Da. In this way, Srila Pramoda Puri Gosvami Maharaj was fully surrendered and one of the internal associates of Srila Prabhupada. At the time of performing kirtan and giving lectures, he would close his eyes, which were brimming with tears, being incessantly immersed in the bhav of bhakti. He would express such deep realizations while discussing bhakti tattva and rasa tattva that his whole audience would be enchanted. He was the embodiment of Sriman Mahaprabhu's verse, Trinadapi Sunichena, more humble than a blade of grass. He was a topmost, self-realized devotee and always deeply appreciative of others' merit. Until this very day, I never saw him criticize anyone, and he even used to give inspiration and respect to this insignificant person who is thoroughly bereft of bhakti. I often saw him walking with his danda, traveling barefoot in Navadvip Dham and the 84 Krosha VRAJA-MANDAL PARIKRAMA. Even in his advanced age, I saw him doing parikrama without eating and drinking, and always singing kirtans and speaking Harikatha. I went to see him almost 1 month and 15 days prior to his divine disappearance. At that time he was not speaking at all, and he kept his eyes closed. I caught hold of his lotus feet and said, "I am your most insignificant servant Narayan Maharaj." Upon hearing this, he caught both of my hands in his and gave me his blessings. Then he ordered his servants to give me prasadam. I do not know if he spoke to anyone else again after that moment. He entered into Nitya Lila at the age of 101 years old. He was expert in all Siddhanta and was a pure devotee in the line of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, and I felt so much inspiration from his blessings and instructions. Now, after his entrance into divine transcendental pastime to the Lord, I am bereft of the touch of that hand which used to confer upon me profuse blessings and inspiration, and thus I feel profound sadness in his absence. In this way, I am offering my Shri Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of such a Parama Niskinchana, Mahabhagavat devotee, Shri Bhakti Pramoda Puri Gosvami Maharaja. May he be pleased to shower his causeless mercy upon me. This is the offering of Tridandi Swami Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. So we're most fortunate to hear the offerings by the most esteemed devotees. Their offerings, which are full of moods, bhavs, and great affection towards these beloved personalities, can enter into our consciousnesses and hopefully at some point come into our hearts for us to also appreciate the specialities and affection that these great Vaishnavas held for each other. Srila Pramoda Puri Maharaj Ki Jai, Anantakota Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai, Gauda Premanandi Hari Hari Bol.